Okay, so for this question, it's asking us to find the unknown sides and angles. So here we go. We're going to look for x, y, and theta. Now, first thing we're going to do here is I'm going to call this little bit right down here A. I'm going to call this little bit down here B. I'm going to kind of get to that in just a moment here. So first thing we're going to do in that left-hand triangle, because I've got enough information, I've got 38 degrees, I've got I'm looking for the opposite, and I've got the hypotenuse here. So I'm going to use the sine of 38 degrees is going to equal x over 10. And then that's awesome because I can just multiply through by the 10 and get 10 sine of 38 degrees will equal x. So 10 sine of 38 degrees, go to my calculator, and I can get that I've got that at 6.2 if I round that. Now additionally, I can find a from that using the cosine function. So cosine of 38 is going to equal a over 10, in which case a is equal to 10 times the cosine of 38 degrees. So 10 times the cosine of 38 degrees. And I'm going to get 7.9, again rounded. Now, from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that information. I'm going to go up to the next triangle, the one with the x and the 8 and the theta. And from there, I'm going to go look for theta here. So I've got the opposite side. I've got that as 6.2, and I've got the hypotenuse here. So the sine of theta is going to equal my x, which I told you was 6.2. Now, it wasn't exactly 6.2. I rounded it to 6.2. I've got the actual full decimal on my calculator. So now I'm going to use the inverse sine of, and I'm going to use that full decimal on my calculator. So one of the nice things about modern calculators here is that I can just go grab that number, divide it by 8, and this is in my inverse sine. So it's going to be 6.2 over 8. And I'm going to get that theta is roughly 50 degrees. Now that's approximate, that's rounded. Now I'm still not done because I want to figure out what y is, and y is the total distance across the bottom. So I need to figure out what b is. And to figure out what b is, I'm going to use tangent. Or actually, sorry, I'm going to use cosine. I'm going to use cosine. So the cosine of that 50 degrees, and again, it's not exactly 50 degrees. I rounded it to 50, so I'm going to use what the calculator told me. Cosine of 50 degrees is going to equal b over 8. So b will equal 8 times the cosine of 50. So 8 multiplied by the cosine, and this time I'm going to grab the angle that I just came up with, which was rounded to 50. And I'll get that this is going to be 5.1. So therefore, y, which is going to equal a plus b, is going to be that 5.1 that I just came up with, plus the 6.2 that I came up with before, and that is going to round to 11.3. Awesome.